mom today, and I'm going to be asking her some questions about Shakespeare. Mom, in school did you enjoy reading and learning about Shakespeare?
I did. In my freshman year of high school, we read Romeo and Juliet, and we watched the movie, and I loved it.
Alright. Did you ever read or see a play by Shakespeare out of school for your own pleasure? And if so, which novel/play did you read or see?
I didn't read a novel or see a play, but I did see a few movies based on his novels. I saw Hamlet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Romeo and Juliet, the remade one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mom, did learning about Shakespeare ever play a big role in your life outside of school?
Not particularly, no.
Mom, what is your opinion on Shakespeare's writing style?
His writing style is very unique and hard to understand when you first read it.
And last question, Mom. Has Shakespeare's plays/books taught you any life lessons? If so, which life lesson was it?
Probably the most is when you're reading material like that. If it's hard to understand in the beginning, you got to stick with it, break it down until you understand it, and then you'll find you really enjoy it.
Alright, well, thanks for your time, Mom.
You're welcome.
And today I'm here with Matthew Richard. I'm going to be asking him some questions about Shakespeare. Matt, in school, did you enjoy reading and learning about Shakespeare?
I did enjoy reading Shakespeare, especially Romeo and Juliet.
Did you ever read or see a play by Shakespeare out of school for your own pleasure? And if so, which novel/play did you read or see?
I saw Romeo and Juliet in the form of the movie Romeo and Juliet.
And Matt, did learning about Shakespeare ever play a big role in your life outside of school?
No, I never really used Shakespeare outside of high school.
Matt, what is your opinion on Shakespeare's writing style?
I think it is very unique, and I haven't seen many other authors try to mimic it.
Okay, Matt, last question. Has Shakespeare plays/books taught you any life lessons? If so, which life lesson was it?
I have not used the life lessons in Shakespeare's books in my normal life.
Alright, well, thanks for your time, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. I'm Patrick Kelly, and I'll be interviewing my father and my sister.
Okay.
In school, did you enjoy reading and learning about Shakespeare?
I have to say, when I first started learning Shakespeare, I didn't really understand it, so I wasn't that excited to learn about it, and it was like really difficult, and I found it like kind of boring. But as I got like more used to it and like reading the way he wrote, I began to appreciate it more. And it got a lot more enjoyable.
I agree with Megan. It was hard when I first started it in high school, but we had a good teacher, and class discussions really helped, and oftentimes we'd have to go back and reread it, and rereading it you got a greater appreciation.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever read or see a play of any Shakespeare out of school for your own pleasure? And if so, which novel/play did you see/read?
So for me, it wasn't until I like graduated from high school that I kind of read it for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I read Othello just because, and Macbeth just because I wanted to kind of like prepare myself for college, but I also like was interested in it, and like I've gone and seen like other renditions of Romeo and Juliet outside of school.
So back in the old days when I was in high school, we read Macbeth, Julius Caesar, Othello, and Romeo and Juliet. So outside of school, no, I didn't do any extra Shakespearean readings, but I saw Romeo and Juliet at the movies.
Did Shakespeare ever play a big role in your life outside of school?
That's a tough question. I think in some ways it has, like, I know you just read Romeo and Juliet, and that was about like two young kids who fall in love way too quickly and make kind of irresponsible decisions. So I guess like from that I learned not to follow it. And, like Hamlet kind of taught me to not be super narcissistic, but I don't know, it's tough.
Yeah. Shakespeare ever play a big role in your life outside of school?
Not really, but it gave me an appreciation of like conflict resolutions, and I saw a different play, West Side Story, which has the same kind of themes as a Romeo and Juliet, where you have the forbidden love.
Oh yeah.
And something along those lines, but I wouldn't say it was life-changing, but it gave me an appreciation.
Okay. What is your opinion on Shakespeare's writing style?
Obviously is one of the greatest writers to ever live, and he shaped a lot of the writing we see now. I do think it's like pretty difficult to get used to, especially like the whole issue of like iambic pentameter and like learning how to read that out loud without it being like awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he has like really beautiful language and a way of like conveying ideas that translates really well to the stage.
Have Shakespeare plays / books taught you any life lessons? If so, which lesson was it?
I think in a more general sense, like not pointing to any specific play, it kind of taught me how to continue to work through something and persevere, because I really struggled with Shakespeare and like understanding the language and like what he was saying. Like when I first started, it was all just like words on a page, and I was like, what does this mean? But I learned how to like really take my time with something that I was reading and learn to understand it and like really just like dive into it, which has like helped me in my later studies.
Okay. Dad?
I think in general, it gave me an appreciation for English and literature, and I still read a lot and was always interested in reading, and I had a minor in English in college, and generally with some of the plays you guys have read or may read, it teaches you that decisions that one makes have consequences, and if you're impulsive, you have to look at the decision that you came across and what the ramifications may be.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I'm Mrs. Brower. I'm certified English as well as Latin teacher. I have a minor in English. I taught English for about 4 years. I've done remedial as well as honors level classes. And that's it about me as far as my background.
In school, did you enjoy reading and learning about Shakespeare?
Absolutely. Shakespeare's hard though. And it makes you think a little harder than you would in a regular text. So I absolutely enjoy it.
Did learning about Shakespeare ever play a big role in your life out of school?
Out of school, a little bit. So I have a son who decided one summer, because he knew how much I liked Shakespeare, that after he was done with a book that he was interested in science, brought home a book. And he said, Mom, you'll be so proud of me of what I brought home. And he brought home the complete works of Shakespeare. He was a freshman in high school at the time, and he had about a month and a half until the school year ended when he had to return his library book. And he read all of the comedies, about half of the tragedies, and a couple of the histories. And so there's just such incredible learning if you can actually understand Shakespeare's writing style. It really will push you to a higher level.
What does Shakespeare mean to you?
You know, I think Shakespeare he impacted the society that he was in a different way. And he found a way to humorize or to make a tragedy of political aspects that were going on in the society in which he lived. And there were hard times among the people in that time, and so it gave them a form of entertainment as well as addressing political and social issues of his day.
Did you ever read or see a play of any Shakespeare out of school for your own pleasure?
Yes, actually. I have a very good friend who runs a homeschool group, and she produces a play with her homeschool students, and it's incredible. Like, they create their own scenes, they make the costumes and everything, and I have been to some of her productions of these different. They did A Midsummer Night's Dream, just not that long ago, and they're just great. They're fun to go watch and to laugh at for some of them. They're
All right,
great.
thank you for your time.
After conducting the interviews, Ryan and I came to the consensus that the public opinion on Shakespeare is fairly positive. But we noticed that in the younger generation, Shakespeare isn't appreciated as much as in older generations.
This leads us to believe that we need to make the opinion of Shakespeare around kids our age more positive. A way that we can do this is by bringing up the idea of having a Shakespeare play be acted out in the Ram Drama Club.
Another way is by creating a club where you read Shakespeare's work and analyze it afterwards and discuss it. These are some of the ways we believe Shakespeare can be perceived better among the younger generation.